McGuire, and I'm the Employer Initiatives Lead here at CAT. It's my pleasure to moderate the breakout session for employers. And today in our session, we'll introduce you to some of the leaders here at CAT who are responsible for ensuring that you, as employers, have a positive experience with your pension plan. Our speakers will highlight the ways that offering a DB pension helps you recruit, engage, and provide value to your employees. Here's an overview of our time today. During the next 45 minutes, we'll talk about the idea of the Marathon for Talent and how offering a DB pension can help you compete. We'll walk through a demo of the recruitment toolkit, an overview of resources that can help members better understand their pension, and a look at the plan changes coming in 2025 and the value they'll bring to you and your employees. But before we dive in, here's a message from Angela Goodchild, who has been with CAT for 10 years and is CAT's Vice President of Service Delivery. Angela is currently in the member audience breakout session, but she recorded a quick video to say a few words to kick things off.
Good morning, everyone. I can't be with you in person because I'm participating live in the member session, but I do want to welcome you to the conference breakout session that's especially for you, our valued employers. In my role as Vice President of Service Delivery, I'm responsible for ensuring you and your employees have an exemplary experience with the CAT pension plan. At CAT, we strive to support you in big and small ways that make engaging with the plan easier and help your employees better understand their pension plan. As you'll see in this session, we've created many tools and resources to help you communicate with employees and even recruits about the great value they get through the pension plan that you provide them. I hope that each of you get something interesting out of today's session, and I look forward to seeing your comments and your questions during the session.
I'd now like to introduce Mary Jarakian, CAT's Director of Employer Services, to talk about the Marathon for Talent and how you, as employers, can leverage CAT during your recruitment process.
Thank you, Linda, and good morning, everyone. You have no doubt heard about the race for talent, where in the current job market, companies have to be more competitive than ever before to attract the best candidates, especially those with specialized skills. This is achieved not just through salary, but through a whole compensation package in which pension benefits is a key component. And here at CAT, we call this a marathon for talent rather than a race, because we think that attracting, engaging, and retaining employees shouldn't be a sprint. It has to be an ongoing business objective that requires a long-term strategic approach. This theme has come up several times during our contributors podcast. And if you're not familiar with the podcast, it features conversations with influential business leaders and the actions they're taking today to secure a better future for Canada. So I'm going to play a clip for you from our January 18th episode with Dr. Susan Black. She is the President and CEO of the Conference Board of Canada, and she talks about this idea.
The thing we hear most often, and I hear it in my individual meetings with leaders, and we heard it in our C-suite survey this year, that attracting and retaining talent is the #1 internal challenge companies are facing right now. The war for talent has been going on for many years, but with the pandemic, with the structural changes in the economy, people are really struggling to find the right set of skills in the roles that they need to have filled. So there's definitely a tight labor market, and it's of great concern.
So as Dr. Black stated, and as you know, recruitment and retention are a big concern for employers. And as a sought after defined benefit pension plan, we at CAT are focused on finding ways to support your organization. And there are several ways in which the CAT pension plan can help you win that marathon for talent. We can help you during the recruitment process. We can help with the employee engagement through member information sessions because understanding the value of their pension helps employees stay engaged with you. And we can also help with the long-term retention because helping your employees, again, understand the value of a secure retirement income stream for life will keep them engaged. So let's talk a little bit more about the first part, the recruitment process. And making sure your candidates know about the pension that you offer before they become an employee. This really is a head start to winning that marathon for talent. And so this is where our talent recruitment toolkit comes into play. So advertising a defined benefit pension during the recruitment process is a great way to differentiate yourself and attract candidates who are looking to settle into a long-term career with your organization. We created this toolkit to help you do just that. You can easily lift and use the content and the visuals to promote a vital part of your overall benefit package, a lifetime retirement pension that Canadians want and need. It gives you 3 ways to capture the attention of candidates. You can post our content on your recruitment pages and incorporate it in materials that you hand out during job fairs or use it during your interviews. When candidates are making a decision, you can share with them our Pensions for Talent website, and so they can learn more about the plan. And lastly, you can add this eye-catching badge to your careers page and job postings to show off this valuable benefit. So we launched this toolkit just a little over a year ago, and we've received some very positive feedback. And here's an example. If you haven't used the toolkit yet, no worries. I'm going to actually go off camera now and demonstrate how easy it is to access, download the assets, and incorporate them into your existing recruitment process.
Hello. Let's start with accessing the recruitment toolkit. Visit the CAT website. Select Talent Recruitment Toolkit from the drop-down menu under Employers. Choose the one that's right for your organization. If your organization offers DB Plus only, choose the DB Plus Employers Toolkit. If your organization offers DB Prime to full-time members, you'll choose the College Employers Toolkit. On the Toolkit webpage, you'll find a variety of resources to help you attract candidates with your pension offering. This includes a PDF version of the toolkit, which you can download here. You'll also find the Lifetime Retirement Pension Badge, which you can add to your careers page and job postings to show off that you offer a sought-after defined benefit pension. Download this folder to access the badge in different formats to suit your needs. It can be in a printable or web format, in color, or in black and white. You'll also find guidelines on how to implement the badge. For instance, adding a link to your page for candidates. In the templates section, you'll find content to give candidates information about the CAT pension plan. To use them, download the PDF here and copy and paste the text into your recruitment material. If you use social media to recruit, we have you covered here as well. You can download a social post copy, complete with hashtags to help candidates find you easily. We can provide images in case you don't have any ready to go. Further down the page, you'll find links to resources you can share with candidates so they can learn more about the pension benefits that you can offer them. These include educational videos, an information sheet about the plan, an FAQ guide for interviews, and the member handbook. We've also created a web page called Pensions for Talent. Here, candidates can learn more about the plan. You can access it through the pension plan landing page for candidates. This page lets candidates know why a CAT pension plan is valuable and why they should choose a workplace that offers it. Here, you'll also find more information about the plan, including educational videos, plan benefits, the pension estimator, and feedback from our members. And that's the toolkit. We encourage you to use your recruitment efforts and share this information with candidates. It's an easy and engaging way for them to learn more about the pension that they will get if they choose a career with you.
So now that you've seen how easy it is to use, I'm curious, will you use the toolkit for your next recruitment campaign? Please enter your answer to the poll question. Excellent. Thank you for sharing your answers with us. So that's it for my part of the program. Next, I'd like to introduce you to Lisa Burgess, the Director of Employer Experience at CAT. Lisa has been with CAT for 3 years, and her main focus is on helping make sure that new CAT employers have the best possible experience.
Thanks, Mary. Good morning, everyone. I'll be talking about the next step to winning the Marathon for Talent, which is employee engagement. It's important for employers to not only provide value to employees through their total rewards and wellness programs, but really engage with them to help them understand what's available to them. There are a number of ways that CAT helps engage our members with the plan. I'll go over some of the key touch points we have with members to keep them engaged and learning about their pension. If your employees have access to My Pension, CAT's member portal, we highly encourage them to sign up. This is a great way to manage their personal information and make sure that they get important plan updates. It also allows them to estimate their CAT pension at various retirement dates, which helps them see the value they'll get for their contributions. As of today, 53% of active members have signed up for My Pension, so just over half. CAT has a goal to achieve 65% signed up by the end of this year. We expect the percentage will increase once members receive their annual statements, since we include information in there about how to register, but we'd also appreciate your help to encourage your employees to sign up. We can provide you with content for your employee newsletters or town halls, or an email that you could send out. If you're interested, let us know in the chat, or you can reach out to your employer pension analyst after the conference. Another resource that CAT offers to help members learn about their pension is through our free learning sessions. We offer regular live webinars to all plan members on 3 different topics. There's a CAT plan overview called A Future You Can Count On, a retirement planning session, and pension purchase sessions. Members can register for these sessions on our website. If you're interested in a customized session just for your employees, either in person or virtual, just reach out to your employer pension analyst, or you can send an email to presentations@catpension.ca if you'd like to schedule one. You may already have heard about our Plan Ambassador program. We launched this program last fall, and it's been a huge hit. It's a fun way for employers and members to engage with us and help spread the word about CAT's mission to provide retirement security for more Canadians. Those who sign up get access to exclusive newsletters and resources, and they'll also receive this stylish t-shirt, which we're all wearing today, to show off their Plan Ambassador pride. In addition to the many resources about the CAT pension plan, we also have a blog on our website called Planner, where members can get more information about personal finance and retirement, plus lifestyle and wellness tips. The blog also includes updates about what's going on in the CAT community. This year, we're really excited to unveil our newest resource for members. It's called Pensionality. You might have guessed that pensionality is a blend of pension and personality, which it is, but it's also a really fun quiz that helps members find their pensionality based on their life and career stages. Along with their pensionality results, members get tailored resources to help them learn more about elements of their pension most relevant to where they are now in life and work. And we'll get a list of actions to take. We encourage you to try it yourself and learn what your pensionality is. You may have seen there's a file in the download section of the presentation. We've created a one-page PDF document that outlines some of the resources I've just talked about. Feel free to download a copy for your reference. If you can't access it, you can contact your employer pension analyst and we'll send it to you by email. Next, I'd like to introduce Marlange Erivo, Senior Manager of Actuarial Solutions at CAT, to talk about the exciting plan changes that were recently announced.
Thank you, Lisa. Hi, everyone. I'll be talking about an important element that will help you go the distance in American for Talent, and that's providing value to your employees through the plan. Retirement benefits are a big priority for employees, and two big things employees expect from their pension are value and retirement security. From our 2022 annual survey results, we have some insight into what employees want and what they feel about their pension. We know that 91% of active members see the plan's value positively, rating it as good or excellent. Retirees are the most likely to rate the plan's value as excellent, which tells us that they really see the value of the plan once they've retired and started getting those pension payments. We also know members value the predictable lifetime retirement security the plan offers. Our survey shows that 72% of active members are confident the pension benefits promised under the CAT pension plan are secure. It is, however, important to note that when asked about this, 24% of the members answered they were neutral. This tells us that they need to know more about the plan to understand the value it provides, which is something CAT continues to work on and improve through our education efforts. Even then, 90% of members who expressed an opinion on this indicated they trust CAT. And this is good news for you because it means you already have a great recruitment and retention tool through the plan. As you may already be aware, we're pleased to recently announce some plan improvements for both DB Prime and DB Plus that will take effect starting January 1st, 2025. Members and employers contributing to DB Prime will see a 1% decrease in their contribution rates, which means member will earn the same grade DB pension, but at a lower cost. You as an employer will also be able to provide a DB pension to your employees at a lower cost. For members contributing to DB Plus, the annual pension factors used to calculate their pension will increase from 8.5% to 9.5%, meaning higher pension in retirement for the same contribution rates. These are changes that are great for members, of course, but they also benefit you. A high-value plan makes you more attractive as an employer, boosting your recruitment and especially your retention potential. The plan changes also lead to a lower overall cost for the benefit you provide to your employees, whether it's through lower contributions or the same contributions going to a bigger pension in the long run. Now time for another poll question. We ask, how much of an impact do you think the 2025 plan changes will have on your organization? I see Medium is trending, so thank you for sharing your answers with us. And that is a great segue to my next topic. Those of you who will be impacted by these changes, you don't need to worry. CAT will provide ongoing updates and support to all employers for these changes. In particular, changes impacting DB Prime contributions rates will require payroll system updates. For DB Plus, The annual pension factor will have to be updated to 9.5% from the current 8.5% when calculating the pension adjustment starting in 2025. We will, of course, work with you and your teams throughout 2024 to facilitate these changes in your systems. And now I'll pass the presentation back to Linda. Over to you, Linda.
Thanks very much, Marlange. That concludes the main part of our presentation, and thanks everyone for your attention. And thank you also to our presenters, but please stay with us. We're going to move into the Q&A portion of our session, and then we'll have a quick break before the fireside chat with our CEO, Derek Dobson. But before we start the Q&A, I want to draw your attention to the downloads and links available to you on the webinar page. If you scroll down below the overview and speaker bios, you'll find the one-pager that Lisa mentioned about how we can help engage your members. You'll also find a one-pager on the resources available to you as employers. With that, I noticed that we've received a number of questions, and we're going to try to answer as many as possible in the time we have. If we don't get to your question, we're taking note of them, and we'll do our best to respond to them in the coming days. So I'd like to invite our presenters to turn on their cameras, and then we'll do a bit of a roundtable. So let me look at these questions. I'm seeing a few questions in the chat about employer manual updates, so we'll start with that. Lisa, can you tell us when the employer manual will be updated?
Sure. Thanks, Linda. The employer manual, which for those of you that might not be aware, it's a resource for employers on the administrative processes they'll be involved in. It's continuously updated pretty much every week to make sure it's up to date. But I have a feeling this question is more about the redesigned employer manual that we've been working on. So yes, we've been working on a substantial redesign of the manual. I'm actually leading that project and I'm super excited about it. So just to go back a bit, many of you were asked to respond to a survey about how you use the employer manual. And we also met with some of you to get your detailed feedback about what you'd like to see in a revamped manual. So thank you so much to those of you that took the time to speak to us. It was very helpful. We've taken that feedback and we're building an easier to use manual that will provide a much better user experience. And it'll have the same look and feel as CAT's website. So to answer your question on timing, the English version is going to be launched with employers this fall, and the French version will be available early next year.
Thanks very much, Lisa. I think we're all looking forward to a refreshed employer manual and a better experience for employers. The next question I'm going to give to Mary. Can we expect future enhancements to the pension administration link, otherwise known as PAL?
That's a really great question. I really like our employer portal. And as you may know, we launched PAL, or our employer portal, about 2 years ago. And our goal is to achieve at least an 80% adoption of transactions that are processed electronically through PAL. And we're consistently seeking ways to enhance it, not only to achieve that 80% goal, but also to make administration easier for you. And I have to say, your feedback has been a crucial part of the development of the roadmap to enhancing PAL. And as you know, just this week, we launched a new functionality to report contributions electronically through PAL. I'm really excited about this. It's going to streamline the process of reporting and reconciling contributions, rather than what we currently have or previously had was an Excel spreadsheet that had to be emailed to the bank and to us, and then we would manually reconcile the reconciliations. It'll be all automated. Very excited about that. And another enhancement that we'll be working on in the upcoming year is employer-specific reporting. Again, this has been requested by you. And what that is being able to pull data from our administration systems to build your own reports. And that will allow you to drive business decisions and increase the accuracy of the payroll data that you submit to CAT. So to answer your question, yes, we are constantly looking for ways to enhance the experience in PAL and obviously simplify administration for you. And we welcome your feedback as we move forward.
Thanks, Mary. I'm seeing a few questions now about the 2025 plan changes, and this one is about the changes to DB+. So Marlange, over to you. Will the increase to the DB+ annual pension factor have an impact on the costing of DB+ purchases?
Thanks, Linda. Really, the short answer is it depends. It really depends on the type of purchase the member is making and what it's for. So for example, if a member is making a purchase for a period before they enroll in DB+, then there's no impact. The annual pension factor used to calculate that purchase will remain at the current 8.5%. And it won't matter when they make the purchase or what pre-enrollment period the purchase relates to. But let's say a member makes a purchase for a period of leave that takes place during their membership in DB+. So for example, for an unpaid leave of absence, in that case, the annual pension factor used to calculate the leave will be 8.5% for leave periods before January 1st, 2025, so before the implementation of the change, and 9.5% for leave periods that take place on and after January 1st, 2025. So it really does depend, but we will of course provide more information to employers and members as we approach 2025 to help make sense of any applicable scenarios that may come up.
Thanks, Marlange. That makes sense. We have another question about the 2025 plan changes, but I'm going to give this one to Lisa. How are you communicating the plan changes to members? Do employers have to do it, or will CAT handle it?
That's a great question, Linda. We announced the plan changes to members by email in early April, I believe, and we also posted information on our website. And at the end of May, we have a member newsletter scheduled, and we'll talk a bit more about the plan changes there. We know that some of you have employees who don't have access to email at work, and we've provided PDF versions of the member communications upon request. So if you feel you need something like that, please let us know. Also, all of our learning sessions that I mentioned earlier have now been updated to include the new plan changes. So if members attend one of these sessions, they'll get that information there. You can refer employees to our website to sign up for an upcoming webinar, or you can reach out to us and we can arrange a special session for your employees. And of course, we'll continue to communicate the plan changes in the coming months when it makes sense to make sure all members are aware.
Thanks, Lisa. Mary, next. Here's another question for you about CAT's online portals. This one is about my pension. My company joined CAT through a merger, and my employees are asking why they don't have access to your online pension portal. Why is that, Mary? And what can these employers tell their employees?
Thanks, Linda. Yes, that's a question we're asked often. And the primary reason for that is a question of security. So CAT stores its member data in our secure pension database, and My Pension, the portal, can only access that database. That's the one way that we keep our member data safe. But if you're an employer that joined CAT through a merger, the employee's pension data is being managed by an external admin partner. And that admin partner, of course, is entrusted to keep that employer's information secure. And at this time, My Pension, our portal, does not have access to that external database. So the good news is, though, your employees don't have to access My Pension. They do have access to all the other resources and supports that CAT has to offer. So please encourage your employees to explore the CAT website, which has, a wealth of information about the pension. There's also, under the members section, there's a dedicated web page for employers that have joined through a merger, and the statuses of the merger are updated on a current basis. And there's also information about how to reach member services with our admin partners. There's also the DB Plus pension purchase estimators that they can use, and it's pre-populated with your contribution rates. So members do have access to a wealth of information, and it's also available on the website, and you can download it in the handout link that we referred to before.
Thanks very much, Mary. And if you're not able to download the PDF documents, let us know, or you can reach out to your employer pension analyst. I think we still have time for a few more questions. This one is related to the changes coming in 2025, specifically the DB Prime contribution rate decrease. Marlange, can you explain the 3% additional contribution rate and why it is only being reduced by 1% in 2025, even though the plan has a surplus of almost $5 billion?
Thanks, Linda. This is a great question. I guess before I provide the answer, I think it's important to explain the components that makes up the DB Prime contribution. So essentially those contribution rates made by members and employers are made up of two parts. The first part is made up of basic contribution, which fund the expected cost of the pension that members are earning. These rates are actually increasing by 1% in 2025. The second part is the 3% stability contribution, which is made reference to in the question that you asked, Linda. And that provides additional benefit security by helping to build reserve. These rates will actually decrease by 2% in 2025. So both changes actually result in a net decrease of 1% for employees and employers. Also, one thing I may add is that the ability to decrease those stability contribution by 2% is a strong indicator of how healthy the CAT pension plan is. CAT governors use the funding policy. This is the policy in place used to help guide decisions like reducing contribution rates or continuing to provide conditional benefits like inflation protection. CAT's strong performance means we were able to move to funding level 5 this year from funding level 4 and make these valuable pension improvements while also maintaining a healthy amount of reserve that will allow us to withstand future periods of volatility, similar to how we experienced them during the pandemic.
Thanks for that explanation, Marlange. It's great to know we're at funding level 5. Here's the question for you, Lisa, because we have a few more minutes. We're working on our Q&A until noon. We've been in the CAT plan for a few years now, and I don't think our employees understand their pension very well, especially the younger ones. Can CAT help?
Yes, and we would love to help. Over the last year or so, we've developed a lot more resources for members to help them better understand their pension. We've also expanded to different social media platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn. The Planner blog and the Pensionality quiz specifically are quite new. So our website also has a ton of information about the pension plan, and we keep adding more all the time. So we are really trying to tailor pension information to members based on where they are in their lives and in their careers. I actually find the best way to educate members is through the member learning sessions that I spoke about earlier. So if you'd like to offer a customized webinar for your staff, please let us know.
Okay. Thanks, Lisa. And don't forget, everyone, you can find more information in the handouts that you can download below. We have another question for Mary. Here it is. We have part-time staff that were given the choice to join the CAT plan when they started working for us, but decided not to join at that time. Every year, we'd like to remind them that they're still eligible to join if they choose. What would you suggest we do?
First of all, thank you for reaching out to those members and encouraging them to join, because taking steps to communicate with part-time employees and employees on contract will make them aware of the valuable defined benefit pension that they are entitled to. So you can direct your employees to our website. There's a page under the members section of the site called Enrollment Made Easy. So Enrollment Made Easy, and that gives them an overview of what they can expect when they join. And again, we would love to help. For us, our mission is to expand pension coverage to Canadians. And that absolutely includes part-time and contract employees. So reach out directly to your employer pension analyst if you'd like to get conversations started about how else you can reach out to those members.
And I have another question for you, Mary, to answer related to the demo that you gave. In the recruitment toolkit demo, you said that organizations that offer DB Prime to full-time members should choose the college employers toolkit. But what if you offer DB Prime, but you're not a college?
Yes, good question. Yes, the toolkit is specifically for employers that offer DB Prime. Isn't just for the Ontario colleges. There are a few employers that have joined through a merger and they offer DB Prime. So you would choose the Ontario College option, but really it's the DB Prime benefit that you're demonstrating. And as well, we have colleges that have joined and offer DB Plus only. And so they would choose the DB Plus only option. So we're working on enhancing the toolkit, and there will be changes over the upcoming months to reflect our growth and diversity of employers.
Thanks, Mary. I think we have time for one more question. We're coming up on noon. Another one related to the plan changes. Lisa, after the annual pension factor for DB Plus increases in 2025, can it decrease again? In other words, is there a minimum number of years it will remain at 9.5%? What happens if the funded level decreases in the next few years? I think you're on mute, Lisa.
Thanks. Sorry about that. That's another great question, Linda. So I can't tell you the number of years that the annual pension factor will remain at 9.5% because it really depends on CAT's funding level. What I can tell you is that as long as CAT remains at funding level 5 or above, the annual pension factor will remain at least at 9.5%. We do have actuaries that run forecasting models regularly, and the most recent results indicate a strong probability will remain at level 5 or higher for at least 5 years, which gives us a lot of confidence. And of course, with any plan change, we always ensure we provide a significant amount of advance notice. So if the funding level were to go down, resulting in a decrease in the annual pension factor, we would let you and plan members know well in advance.
Thanks, Lisa. I don't think we want to get into too many more questions, but in our last couple of minutes, I'd like to ask each of you to tell me one thing that you're excited for in 2023. How about you, Lisa?
I'm super excited to launch the redesigned employer manual later this year. We've been working on this for a while, and I think it's going to be fantastic.
That's great. How about you, Mary?
Probably too many to choose from. So I'm thinking. I'm really excited about growing and diversifying the plan, bringing on new employers. It's just so exciting to see the plan grow and improve its funding status even. And also, as I spoke about the enhancements that we're looking at with the employer portal, there's the employer specific reporting, as well as some of the other automations are geared towards making your life easier as administrators. So really excited about those changes.
And certainly not last but not least, Marlange.
Yeah, and you know what? I had the same thing in mind as Mary mentioned. I'm really excited for the continued growth to our membership and participating employers. It keeps going up and up, which is fantastic because it means that we're providing valuable retirement benefits to all Canadians, coast to coast. And maybe second thing that I'm really excited about is the changes coming up to the plan. It really demonstrates how we truly leave our profit for member model, which means the better the plan does, the more benefit enhancements members receive. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, I that's why I joined CAT. I think it's awesome. It's what we're wearing on our shirts every today. Pensions for everyone. Every time a new employer joins the plan, I want to cheer. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for attending this session and extend a special thank you to all of our three presenters, all of you. And thank you for taking your time today, everyone who's listening. We'll now be rejoining the main presentation, which will include a fireside chat with our CEO, Derek Dobson. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of CAT's annual conference.
Thank you for joining.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.